So, welcome back to another video. Right now I'm eating my dinner, pasta and beef, while I'm making this. So, I moved out. So I'm at my new place right now. This is a crib. I made a TikTok about it, but there's a Jordan Peterson sign in the back, or poster in the back. Be an absolute monster, be dangerous. So yeah, moved out. It's been 2 weeks of me moving out. I have a boyfriend, girlfriend living on this side of me. That's one roommate, and then another guy from Lebanon moving over there. Yeah, so part of the reason I wanted to move out was because just a sort of another step in independence and being a man who stands on my own 2 feet. I think there was something about being in the same environment every day, in the house I grew up in, living with my parents and my family, who I love, but just made me feel like stuffy in there. And I think I was short-tempered sometimes, and really irritable at times. And I think part of that, with my parents being in the house and stuff, or it being their house and me living there, is like I didn't feel like a man the way that I want to feel. And so I think that part of it was like I thought that me moving out would help with that too, being able to be, hopefully, like, that would solve some of the irritability, and I would start to feel like, okay, I have my own independence, I'm starting to do things for myself. Here I am taking this step that proves to myself that I am this man that I want to feel like, sort of thing. And I think sometimes I would get a little irritable if I was trying to be helped, if help would be offered, whether it's picking up groceries for me or offering me something, or whether advice, or just like, it's hard to think of stuff in the moment, but like, I don't know, if I needed something for my room, if a piece of furniture had to be fixed, or if there was a situation with like an opportunity, a job opportunity, the advice that would come in, and sometimes I'd feel annoyed at just the fact that I'm looked at someone that I felt like I was looked at as someone that would need the advice, like I wasn't my own man to make my own decisions. And that's not the case, but that's just, I think, how part of it felt. So yeah, new independence. Also, just having a new environment, I thought would help me to kind of break some of the bad cycles of procrastination and of demotivation. And being in a new environment will help me to build these habits that I want to be built, and it would allow me to sustain them, and less distraction, just being sort of by myself, everything being on me. There's no one else that I can rely on to, leftovers from mom and dad are in the fridge, or mom and dad can do that for me. Like, everything's on me. So that too. I don't have a TV in here. I don't have a desire for a TV. Yeah, just distraction free. Yeah, so like I remember that first night I got in, and it hit me like, wow, I'm really moving on to my own thing. Yeah, so as of late, I feel like for the past couple of years, like, just I've always struggled with trying to figure out what the priority is at a certain time. And I haven't been very good at being able to accept what the priority is at a certain time, and making everything else work, or putting other things on the back burner. I have somehow, because I'm still here. But I think right now in my head I think about things like still keeping up with jujitsu. I'm eating more, upping my calories, 4 to 5,000 a day. I've been trying for the past week or so far, and it's tough, and I haven't hit it all the time, but I'm trying to gain weight with my fitness journey. I'm doing physio right now for my knee, trying to get that solved. I am still at the electrical company. I'm in the warehouse still, and we'll talk about that in a bit. And then just yesterday, I was like, man, like a song in my head, and I just like was at my mom's house, and then I picked up the guitar, and so yeah, like I just wanting to strum and play guitar, and I feel like, man, like I should make time for this, it's just therapeutic and nice. And I realized like I didn't want to admit to myself how much that I like how much I enjoy in playing it, even though I'm not very good. And I made a TikTok video, because I'm trying to do social media too, but I made a TikTok video pretty much titled like "How Bad You Want It," and often that phrase is associated in my mind with this negative connotation as to like how far are you doing enough for this thing, and you should be doing enough for said thing or goal. And I've been thinking lately, like if I flip it and just use it as an experiment, and I look at myself and simply just observe myself like a stranger in the third person, like all these things that I am doing in my day, like where am I enjoying myself the most? What do I tend to the most? What do I find most interesting? What do I make the sacrifice for? Just being observant of it, no value judgment attached to it. And if I do that, what are the results? Where am I spending most of my free or unavailable time? Where do I find my mind drifting? And I think that there's like two parts of me. There's like the part that wants to be this man, this protector, this provider, and wants to do things associated with that, like learn jujitsu, like make a big emphasis on my fitness and health. And everyone should be doing that to some degree, but particularly putting on a lot of muscle. Even the work that I do, like electrical, doesn't sound right to say, but part of it was just because it was a job that would make me kind of feel like what a man's supposed to do, being a man of utility and being able to have a useful, hands-on, applicable skill. So that's sort of like, you could even call it programming, but those are things in my mind that I feel like I should be. And there's that shouldn't go without, that shouldn't just be brushed away. Like I think there's good reason sometimes why we feel like we should be something. But at the same time, like yesterday or the day before, picking up that guitar, it's like, man, I feel like I don't really have time for this, to pursue it fully. But I find myself in flow state and enjoying it and using it being useful to me. And so it's interesting because it's like an interest that I don't necessarily wish that I had, but it is something that I have. And I think that there can be regret to not doing something that you don't allow yourself to do, that you feel compelled to or interested in, or it appeals to you. So I brought it back with me. It's over here. It's Yamaha. And I brought it back with me to my place here, and maybe I'll use it from time to time when I feel like it, without putting the pressure on having to turn it into like this productive project that like I try to do with other things. But yeah, I'm gonna take a few bites here. Well, there's that. But yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. And I think the reason why I struggle with the idea of ordering priorities is that because like sometimes you'll kind of hear the advice of, oh, well, you only have to do it for now. And then after a certain point, then you can switch and just do something else. And in my head, I like the idea of building something. I like the idea of everything being continuous and linear towards a greater good. And so, I felt this pressure to, even for work, like, what do I want to do with my life? I had in my head that it would be something that I would do forever until I died. And it's kind of unrealistic. People switch careers, people do different things. Oftentimes we make better decisions because we're more informed, only because we get the experience in the first place, right? To just get our feet wet and try something. But this idea that I don't want to feel like I'm starting over in things. I want everything to feel like it's building on something. And I asked my buddy yesterday, like, or 2 days ago, because we were talking about this. And I said, like, if I do this and then I switch from X to Y, and I go, is that a 180 or is that a pivot? He goes, it's a pivot. Everything you do informs the next thing, right? There's something that always translates, even if fields are unrelated. But yeah, just that idea that, man, I don't want to feel like I'm only doing something temporarily, right? Like when I think about it, if you, to better illustrate what I'm trying to say, you might already get the point, but if there's like a little like picture frame on your desk and one of the legs is broken so it falls, and then you try and like prop it up right, even though it's not perfect, you stand it up and then 2 seconds later it falls. Maybe you give it another shot and you try and prop it up, then it falls. Eventually you're just gonna say, like, forget it. Like, there's no point, because every time I try and build it up, it's just gonna return to where it was. So like you see, logically you think there's no point to it. And that's kind of how I feel about what I do or what I'm building, what my goals are. And I think that's part of the reason why there can be this appeal to try to make what you are doing your identity, because the alternative in that sort of twisted logic would be, oh, well, if it's not, and it's only temporary, or it's not lasting, then what's the point of it? And that's kind of how I felt about what I do. And even though I haven't made any grandiose accomplishments either with work or any other area of my life right now, that's kind of how my brain interprets the motivation around doing something. So I'm trying to find ways to see it as one thing building upon the other. I think writing is important to me. I don't have a whole lot of time to write. While I pursue some other things, but I'm trying to find connections and see things where things inform other things, or my interests inform the other interests that I'm pursuing, and nothing is lost, kind of thing. But priorities definitely are real, and I'm experiencing that now, where I just don't have time to pursue everything that I want to. Even jiu-jitsu, I haven't been the last couple weeks during the week. Really at all, I think the last couple weeks, but during the week is tough. And yeah. Quick update with my company. So I'm still in the warehouse with this union company. Still not unionized. But there was a girl who moved on recently who was in the warehouse as well, and she's on to now being an HVAC tech, and she made good connections while she was here in the warehouse and connected with the right people, and she worked hard, and she was out, and she got out, and she's been out in I think it was like 3 months. So it kind of tore the veil for me to where, I don't feel like I should be here a couple years. I don't feel like I should be here even a whole year. if I work hard and I make the right connections too, and just kind of advocate for myself, hopefully that'll be me as well soon. So just a quick update on that, because right now being a union electrician is still the goal. Yeah, so that's it. It's 11:40. I'm gonna finish this up and then shower and head to bed. And yeah, anyways, have a great night. Peace.